What's going on YouTube? We're back again with another recipe. Today we got one of the household classics, spaghetti bolognese. So watch along, follow along, then some tips and tricks and we get onto it. So we're going to be making homemade pasta. That starts with flour, eggs and salt. So what I like to do is make a well with the flour, crack in some eggs. We go 2 eggs per person. We're going to whisk the eggs in the middle while dragging in flour. And this is the start of our dough. If you see it escaping like that, get a little bit of flour, push it back in. It becomes a little bit less runny, a little bit more formed. At this point we can go in with our hands. Add a little salt. Go in with the hands. You can see around I've got all the excess flour. While I'm kneading, just drag more of that flour into the dough. It's a feel thing. You can feel the dough coming together in your hands. You can feel if it's a little bit sticky, if you need to add a little bit more flour. What I recommend is take your time. Don't rush, enjoy the vibe of cooking. Cooking should be happy, fun, creative, enjoyable. Not too much stress. Just have fun. And the best part about it is you get to eat afterwards. So we can really start to see it's starting to come together. What I like to do is push the excess flour around there. And we want our dough to look and feel like Play-Doh. So I've kneaded. What I like to do now is split it in half to make it easier to work with. And we're just going to roll it, keeping the shape. You can make it a little bit rectangle if you want, but just to make it easier, I'll just keep it this shape until it can pass through our machine. With flour, so when we run it through the machine it doesn't stick. And this is our machine here. Just 2 rollers. We're going to start on, I think it's the highest number, work our way down to number 2 or 3. So as we can see here, it gets longer. So I'll go through one more time and we'll laminate. Fold it into half, top to half, bottom to half, and then we get the rolling pin. We're just rolling it until it's thin enough to pass through the machine again. Yeah, perfect. I'm going to go 3 times down to number 5. And the lower we go, the thinner the pasta gets and the longer it stretches. At any moment of time you feel your pasta dough sticking, you just hit it with some flour. Onto 4. You know, if you're doing this for the first time or you're a new beginner, just go slow. There's no rush. Just got to enjoy the process of making homemade pasta. I'll say it's one of the most fulfilling things to do. You know, pasta's pretty cheap in stores. No one really makes it at home, but damn, you're missing out on the taste, texture, everything. And this is what we're left with. A beautiful homemade pasta sheet. So here's our long pasta sheet. I like get a little flour, sprinkle it on. We're feeding it through the spaghetti cutter. Just take your time, make sure it doesn't flip on itself. And look at that, it's beautiful. There's one sheet done. What I like to do, fill it with some flour and toss it within itself. We really want to go generous with the flour, otherwise this likes to stick to itself. Because once it sticks to itself, it's hard to get it unstuck, and you're just going to be eating one clump of pasta. It's just going to be a spaghetti ball. There's so many ways where you can start your bolognese. You can start with the red sauce. I like to start with beef mince here. I've got a cast iron pan preheating. What we're going to do is get a hard set on our mince. Once it goes in, make sure all the fans are on high, your windows are open. Get good surface area, and we really want it to caramelize our beef. This is going to hold up when we make our sauce, and it's not going to fall apart. It's going to give us really nice textured beef. So we got my wallpaper scraper. You can see all that caramelization. This tool helps. When we got both sides charred up, just going with a wooden spoon, we're going to break it up. Onto our pot, we're going to toss our beef. My bolognese sauce, we got beef, garlic, lots of garlic because I love garlic. Can of tomatoes, water in the tomato can, and spices. So we got salt, pepper, oregano, fresh basil, and brown sugar. Mix this around. If you have time, add thyme. You like rosemary, add rosemary. Doesn't matter, add whatever you want to add. Within reason, obviously, within reason. You can't go out adding just weird stuff. Our red sauce is quite thin, very watery, and we're just I'm gonna let this reduce for, I'll say 10 minutes. Obviously if you cook on low heat it's going to take longer. I'm going to crank it up on high and just let it reduce away. Keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't burn. But you can see in our pot, beautiful caramelized beef. So when we render the sauce down, our beef just doesn't disintegrate. So this is the bolognese reduced. You can see it's turned into, I'll say like a meat sludge, but it's like a really delicious meat sludge. I've tasted it for seasonings and we're ready to go, because we're also going to hydrate this further with some starchy pasta water to give it a supreme authentic gloss. Fresh pasta cooks extremely quick. You can always check by taking a piece out or throwing it against the wall, and if it sticks then it's cooked. What I like to do is take a piece out and actually taste it. Alright, we want some of the starchy pasta water. Add anywhere between a quarter cup to half a cup. And this is really going to help bring our dish together. You'll see instantly on the plate, even cooking, it just turns beautiful and glossy. pasta in. Our bolognese. You guys can definitely see what I mean about glossy. Spread that over. If you want a little bit of cheese, go hard. I don't think I have cheese with this one. You can get a fork at this point, put some cheese, put some basil, go and toss it. But I think that this is going to be me. Here we have it, guys. We have Kitchen by Matt's bolognese with homemade pasta. So let's dig into this. What I like to do is I like to mix it around, really get the flavors incorporated, get sauce on those pasta noodles. Cheers. Super hot, super flavorful, very fresh. Perfect little meteors of beef, caramelized beef, and the homemade pasta topped it off. This is killer. I recommend try it. Always recommend to try my recipes, but this one, such a staple in many families, in many households. It can be a fun activity with your partner, with your kids. Get them involved in the cooking process. Just make it feel less of a drag. Cooking should never be a drag. Cooking should always be enjoyable. If you follow me, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll get you cooking like a pro in no time. See you on the next one.